Well, good morning, everybody. It is 11 o'clock. This is business planning for 2024. Thank you all for being here today. So if you're watching this in January or February, you're just take count that you've got 2 months or 11 months left in the year when you're doing your calculations and your figures. So I'd love for you all to type in the chat first off to start with. Do you have a business plan? And is it, when I say this, let me put a word in front of it. Do you have a written business plan? Type it in the chat if you have a written business plan or no, you do not. Either way, put it in the chat so I know who I'm talking to. All right, not yet. Written, yes. Do I follow it? No. Thank you for your honesty, Matthew. It's okay. That's why we're here. All right. I do not. Okay. All right. So here's the goal. The goal is to do something. Okay. Just something. That's how you start a business plan. You're going to start with something, one little thing, one little bite. So my recommendation to start with your business plan is, let me share my screen. What I like to do first is I come into the Berkshire Hathaway Resource Center. So come into the Resource Center, come into the Learn Center. And when you get in the Learn Center, now I got a bunch of windows open, so I got to figure out, I think it's the first one I did. So the Learn Center, and it is not that one. It is not, it's this one. All right, this is called the What If. So this is the What If inside of the Learn Center, and I'm going to show you guys how to get all of these after we go through them. So don't worry about how you get them yet. I'm going to show you at the end so you can see where they're at. But what I want to do is show you what they are. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit on this one. All right, so this is the What If. Maybe do a little bit more. All right, so this is the what if. Now, what happens here is you're going to take your 12 months prior historical data, and you're going to have to download this as an Excel spreadsheet so this works and the math works. So I'm not going to actually do this, but I'm going to show you what it is. So you take the listings taken, listing sides closed, buyer sides closed, total sides closed. That'll give you a listing sold percentage. You'll get your 1099. You're going to get your expenses, and it's going to give you this column. Then you're going to come over here in the pink boxes and put in the changes. When you put these changes in here, it's going to give you the what if and the potential net earnings increases. So this is a very simple little tool. If I have, I think I have one done. Looking real quick. I don't have one done. But if you go in here and you do this, that's the key. So this is the first step to a business plan. And if you focus on this, you will have the first steps to your business plan. So this is called the what if. So if you're taking notes, write down the what if analysis. And you can see that right over here. What if analysis. I just turned it orange over here on the right-hand side. This is something that America and I do with our offices. Actually, we don't do it by choice. Actually, we do choose to do it for Barbara. So I would recommend you all do these what if analysis first. All right, then you have a couple of different business plans that you can use. This is the Quick Start Essential Business Plan. So in this one, you're going to do a SWOT analysis. You're going to do income, close, production goals, calculating number of prospects, creating a weekly schedule, monitor tracking ongoing, and successfully create, implement the written plan for success. All right, so these are the steps that you're going to follow. Evaluate your current position, create that simple plan, create a schedule, review your progress. Now, the first thing I want to say is you're evaluating your current position is simply where you at from a standpoint of numbers, figures, where are you at with your business, your industry, where you want to go. Creating a simple plan is exactly what that is. This is not detailed. This is, I would like to increase my business by X transactions. I would like to increase my earnings by X dollars. What are a couple of things I can do to increase those productions? Nothing complicated, nothing too deep. The complication or the depthness is going to come farther down. Creating a schedule. The schedule is the biggest difference from most people. A schedule is not your calendar. All right. So it's not your calendar. Let me see here. This is my calendar, right? So this is my calendar of things I've got to do. My schedule is, what is the ideal week work look like? What does my ideal week look like? If everything went perfect, which we know it's not, but if everything went perfect, what's my Monday? What's my Tuesday? What's my Wednesday? What's my Thursday? What's my Friday? What's my Saturday? What's my Sunday? And you say, I don't work on Saturday and Sunday, take them off. If you say I do houses, showings, or open houses and showings on Saturday and Sunday, what day of the week are you taking off? All right, so that's your ideal schedule. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen each and every week. That's what your calendar is for. That schedule is just a base schedule. And then you always have to review your progress. If you got to review your progress on a daily basis, that's okay. That's usually a checklist, scratch off. That can be reviewing your progress for the day, scratching it off, circling it, highlighting, however you work. Daily progress, weekly progress, monthly progress, quarterly progress, yearly progress, depending upon your business plan, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year business plan. All right, your essentials workbook, just give you a little title here. And then you're going to do a SWOT analysis. Can you type in the chat if you are familiar with SWOT analysis, if you've done SWOT analysis? And Clyde, what would you recommend for a brand new agent? I'm not sure, Clyde. What's the question in regards to? You can unmute yourself or type it in the chat, whichever one.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Sure.
But in reference to, I just got licensed, and I'm new to the whole real estate game and trying to find a way.
Okay. So are you, when you ask the question, what do you recommend for a brand new agent? Are you talking in general for a schedule when I was talking, or are you talking just in general to start with your business?
Starting with the business.
That's a great question and a conversation to have with your manager. Who do you work with?
I'm over at Berkshire Hathaway.
Which office though? Who's your manager?
Chesapeake.
With Karen or Tanya? Tanya? Yeah, Tanya and Angela and Shannon, they have a great plan and they'll get you set up. So make sure you bring this to them after the session today and they will get you on your way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yes, all the time in the military. I forgot what was the question. Oh, SWOT analysis. Sorry. All right. So the SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So there's a few of you that are in here. What is your biggest threat to achieve your goal? And you take that threat and you see what is your opportunities, what are your weaknesses that feed into that threat, what are your strengths that'll overcome that threat. So this is not necessarily 12 different things in each box. It should be like, I'll use me as an example. My threat is my inability to speak up for myself and go outside of my introverted self. My weakness is I am scared of being rejected. So that feeds into that threat, or the rejection feeds into it. And so my weakness has to overcome that rejection, and I have to work on my strengths to get myself out of that opportunity. And what's the opportunity? The opportunity is, if I speak to more people, I have more opportunities to recruit. I have more opportunities to teach classes. So I have to work on that threat, that weakness, and work on focusing on my strengths. So when we work on that SWOT analysis, we're trying to identify one characteristic and then build off of that characteristic. So don't try and jam like 4 things in there. Just focus on one strength or one weakness. I guess the one weakness, and then what are the threats to it? What are the opportunities, and what are the strengths? Any questions on the SWOT analysis? All right. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to do probably the hardest thing that anybody does. And that's filling in that personal expense and monthly business budget. Now this is downloadable. So it's an Excel spreadsheet. You click on the little button, downloads. So then you can go in there and type in these. You'll see these yellow numbers here automatically total up, and they also carry over to the next page. So you want to do this financial forecast as accurately as possible. I think I've always done too many things with SWOT analysis at times instead of focusing on one thing and work. Yes, Ashley, I would recommend doing one thing in the SWOT analysis and going off of that. Occasionally, you may have 2 weaknesses or 2 threats that coincide with things, but try and focus on one opportunity to improve a skill set, to improve a mindset, something of oneness. And sometimes, like I said, 2 things might tie together, but really you don't want to get more into more than 2 things connecting together and focus on that one factor. You're welcome. The financial forecast, y'all, is something that if you're sharing bills and costs with someone else, you can tweak this and, change some of the obligations and the debts in here, however those work. So you can reconfigure this. It's a spreadsheet, but what you want to make sure you're doing is you're making sure that you're doing your math correctly and you're relabeling these and not necessarily manipulating these columns on the right, because these columns on the right add up to these, and these add to these, and these go into your next pages. So if you do something over here, other than put a number in, you could mess up the math calculations. So when you're renaming things, think about over here and then just use negative. If you use a negative 100, that will work, as opposed to trying to change anything from that. If you're good with spreadsheets, then you'll be good at doing this. Otherwise, just kind of stay with the format. All right, this will bring you down to your income and production goals. And this says average sales price for my market. And was that Clyde, I think? Clyde, this is something you want to get from Tanya, because she'll give you like the office average. If you have been selling houses for more than 2 years, then you should be using your average sales price for your market, meaning you as in Kara, you as in Lewis, you as in Ashley. If you're new and you haven't really established 2 years yet, you want to get the office average, and the office can get you that number to put in there. And then you want to use what your percentage of gross commission to you is. If you've been doing it over 2 years, someone new like Clyde, you're going to get that from Tanya based on the office. And then you all should know what your percentage splits are. So 40, sorry, not sure where I started there. 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80% splits. Do the math, will auto calculate the rest of these numbers for you. This gets you your monthly goal and production closed based on these numbers here. So these will all connect together. All right. Any questions on the math on that at this point? You can unmute or type in the chat. All right, not seeing anything. We'll go on down here to your business objectives. Now, you can add more than 4 objectives in here. It just won't carry over to the next page. So if you're like, well, I have 5 objectives, 6 objectives, that's fine, type them in. But you also have to know that these objectives 3 and 4 will carry over to your summary page right here. So if you add objective 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're going to have to manually copy and paste those to get those into your summary page. So these numbers will come right here. Objective 1 and 2 will come out of these pages here on pages 4 and 5. So you don't have to calculate these numbers. It automatically happens. Now, also in here, it gives you SMART goals, making sure you're being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time orientated. So those are your goals, and you want to complete them in the next 12 months. You want to go in there and change that and say by the completion of 2024, something like that. That's great. Then you have objective 3 and 4 that you can type in there for yourself as well. All right, coming down here, this right here will do the math for you based on all the numbers above. So that'll all plug in, and it'll tell you how many prospects you need to have a conversation with on a regular basis. And it's using these numbers as your math. So if you want to change those, you can go in there and change those, but you're gonna have to go in there and tweak the system. So be careful you don't mess around with it too much, because you can change out the whole formula. All right, then you have this summary, and this summary page basically pre-fills itself based off of the preceding pages along at this point. And then you get down here, and then this will give you a calculation of how many contacts you need to make in January, February, March, April, etc., what your closings targets are, what your income targets are, and then you can go in here and put in the actual, and then you can also do the prior year if you've done it to see where you're going forward. All right, then you have your prospecting activities, create sending e-cards, sending handwritten notes, 5 contacts. You can decide which one of these activities are going to help you along your path of your goal. And then most importantly is the time blocking. This is that schedule that I was talking about earlier. This is where you set the schedule and you create this time block. Now, it's not going to always be perfect, but I want to teach you something I learned a long time ago that's very easy to help you have a good mental outlook in scheduling. If you win the day, you give yourself a check. To win the week, you only have to win 4 days. So win 4 days, do 4 days like you say you're going to do with your prospecting, your follow-up, your prepping, your appointments. You've won the day. Win 4 days, you've won the week. Win 3 weeks, you win the month. So win 4 days, win the week. Win 3 weeks, win the month. Win 8 months, win the year. So do the math reversed. 8 months times 3 weeks, 24 weeks times 4 days is 96 days. If you successfully complete your schedule 96 days and you've got a good business plan, you'll win the year. You'll achieve your goals. So it helps break it down and say, wow, because you're going to take out already, what, 104 days out of 365. That takes you down to 250, give or take. If you take out Saturday and Sunday, if you work Saturday and Sundays, that's okay. And then you know that you have accomplished your goals by doing about 100 days out of the remaining 250. So about 1/3, give or take, of the days, you win the week, you win the month, you win the year. So I really strongly recommend that you create this ideal or perfect schedule. And then don't hold yourself and beat yourself up if you don't happen to follow it because something happens. But what it does is it allows you in these green spots or these pink spots as places to fill up the day or to move things around. Any questions on scheduling?
Yes. Is that
Yes.
Spreadsheet built into this business plan that you're talking about, that we can use that and work through it?
Yes. Yeah, when you download it, it'll be built in right there.
Okay.
Actually, this whole thing in essence is a spreadsheet. Wait, is that not right? I think it's a workbook. Like you do workbooks, right? And then on the tabs on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be a tab on the bottom of the workbook.
Okay, so you can download the whole thing from the resource center. It downloads as a complete workbook with different tabs.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Yes.
I didn't
So
even know this existed.
Yes. So each one of these pages actually is on a what you call it, a Excel page.
Okay.
So yeah. So this looks like, I guess it's 13 pages on this one. So it will download in, and I think they've just formatted this. I'm not sure how the schedule works, but here's this. You can build in your weekly workflow as well. So
Okay.
it's kind of weird, but it's all there, downloadable, right? Which one of these? That's notes, view, download right here. So you can just click this little download button. It'll download it as a workbook for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so that is the quick start. Let me go back to this top. So this one is the quick start essentials. All right, so that one's the quick start essentials. You also have the Forever Agent strategic business plan. So if you're doing Forever Agent, there's a strategic business plan. I'm not going to go into depth in the Forever Agent because there's so much training on that. Those of you that are following the Forever Agent plan, great tools in there to build off of. And then this is the third one. And is this I did the same one? I think it's the same one. All right, so this is the same one. This is the Business Essentials workbook right here. And again, that's a spreadsheet. You just click that button and that'll pull down. So that one's just a little bit briefer. All right, so those are the tools for Berkshire Hathaway that you can use to build off of that business plan. We go over to this one in the dashboard. So this is RWT Connect. Actually, let me go back here. Sorry. So to find all of these plans, you'll come in here to the Learn Center. So go to the Resource Center, come to the Learn Center. And when you get to the Learn Center, you don't even have to do anything. The Forever Agent Strategic Business Plan is here. So you can click on that. I think this is an hour or some. Yep, 59 minutes of work by going through and watching the videos. So this is, it's going to be more than 59 minutes when you start doing stuff. There's 59 minutes without you inputting or doing any work. This is just watching and doing base information without having to do research. So once you have all your numbers, once you have all your figures and you're plugging stuff in, you've got 59 minutes of work. So you've got that here in this piece of the Forever Agent if you're choosing to use the Forever Agent one. Now you can also go here. I type in quick. And when I get to quick start, do the little search. And there's the quick start essentials. And inside quick start essentials, you can scroll down to business planning. This business planning has videos as well, 35 minutes. It has those 8 pieces of contents, the 4-step business plan, and then the 4-step business planning essentials. So you have those downloads right there as well. And then the business planning up here is where you have the what if. Okay, so just come into the little search bar, type in quick start, and there's that. And then the what if, I think I just misspoke because I did the quick start. I'm sorry, the business planning will give you the what if analysis when you go to the Sage CRM, which is another option. And you have a lot more in here. And here's the first thing in the Sage CRM is the what if analysis. So you have the Forever Agent, you have the quick start, and you have the Sage CRM business plan. You don't have to do all 3. You can take elements out of them and put them together. You can just do one. If you're starting somewhere, you don't have anything, start with the Sage CRM, business planning, what if analysis. This right here, first step, take what you got this year and build forward. Clyde, Tanya will give you a set of numbers if you're new that will help you start building those numbers since you don't have any for the previous 12 months. She'll give you what those goals for each agent are in the office, and you'll be able to build off of those numbers. And anybody else that's brand new and doesn't have numbers, just ask your manager and they will help you complete those pieces of the pie. All right, the last thing I want to show you is one of the tools. If you have our intranet up, you can scroll down, and in here is our business planning where you can take the numbers. Now this, you got to do the work from the Learn Center and plug it into here, and it will give you this little sales pipeline. And as you do your tracking inside this, these numbers will change with you so you have a visual of the business planning. Now, This is where you want to come into the system with your information that you got out of any of these Sage Learn Center tools and put that number into the RWT Connect. All right. That is, in a nutshell, the basic ways to start your business plans. And if you need any help with your business plans, you can reach out to us here at training, or in the case of brand new agents, you should definitely have a conversation with your manager because your manager is going to help you with some of those numbers that you need to get started. So take any questions you all might have right now. You can raise your hand, unmute yourself. Looks like just chat here. All caught up on the chat. Okay. Any questions from anyone? Yes, I'm still using Buffini. You can use Buffini as well if you're a Buffini member. Yeah, if you're a coaching member of any kind, if you're Buffini or Sherry Thompson, I think, is that the right one? America, you can correct me if I'm wrong on the Berkshire Hathaway one. Sherry Thompson, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Barbara Corcoran. There's a number of coaches. If you have a coach training program, they probably have a business plan. Definitely, that's great. I'm not trying to get you to do something on top of or additional. If you see something that's in there that you're interested in, go right ahead and use that. The whole point is, I think the one thing that most of them don't have is that what if analysis, which I love that. I haven't seen that in too many. That just kind of gives you a, hey, if I go from 10 to 12, if I go from 12 to 14, does the quick math for you. I think that's great. So I do not have any questions. I look forward to looking at the different tools. I did attend a Forever Agent last week regarding business planning. Oh, great. How was the Forever Agent, Kara?
It was informative. I find that most of the Forever Agent webinars are usually long-winded, with a lot of talking about what the pledge and everything is. But once they got down to the nitty-gritty of the Excel sheet and everything, it was neat. You could really just kind of plug and play.
Good. That's what it's supposed to be for. Who was the leader on the Forever Agent?
Oh, it was I forgot their names.
Was it
The one I
Alan
did the
Thompson?
week before.
Alan, not Alan Thompson. Alan.
Not Bob or something. No, the guy with the glasses.
Oh, Bob. Okay,
Yes.
Bob did it. Okay.
Yeah,
Alan Dalton. Yes, thank you.
that's the
Thank
one.
you, Ashley. Alan Dalton. I don't know why I got Alan Thompson on the brain for some reason. But yeah, Alan Dalton and then Bob. I'm drawing a blank on Bob's name too. I can see his face, gray hair, glasses.
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you would have tuned in, what, 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, you're still good?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I find that with some of those classes, they do tend to reiterate a lot of the same information out of the gate. So yeah, if you're doing the Forever Agent, you're running a little late, and you've been to one or two of the classes, you're probably not missing much in the first 5 to 10 minutes. So other questions? And thank you, Kara, for chiming in there. How are you feeling? You doing good?
Doing good, doing good. I'm down to my weekly doctor visits until the baby gets here.
All right. Kara was in one of my classes last week, and so she's got a new baby on the way. So that's what I was asking if she's doing good. So that's awesome.
Tim, one last question. So if
Sure.
we go to the resource center to get to the quick start business essentials analysis that you were just going through, right? It's through the resource
correct.
center. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The only thing that you're going to see on Town Connect is going to be this funnel shaped. Everything else is going to be over here in the resource center. Sage, Quick Start, and Forever Agents.
Okay, the only one that comes up when you click on the Learn Center, it looks like, is the Forever Agent one. So you'd have to type in the search bar.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, so when you type in Learn Center, Forever Agent is like stuck right here. So if you come up here into the search bar and type in business planning, that'll get you to Sage and the what if, and you do Quick Start. that will get you to the one with all the little PowerPoint, the Excel spreadsheets that you can download.
Okay, thanks. I just didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the only one that pops up right there is that Forever Agent. Let me scroll down, see if they've moved any more. Because sometimes at the end of the year they do.
Yeah, because if you just type in the search bar, what if nothing comes up?
Yeah, what if won't come up? You got to type in. You got to do the Sage business. You got to do business planning. So let's just see if they have any of these little titles here that are more helpful. No, they don't have business planning as one of these quick links. So yeah, you got to type in up in here. You got to type in business planning. And when you type business planning, that will pull up the Sage CRM that has the what if analysis inside it.
Okay, I just couldn't
That's
get
the
to it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that for Amerique and I, we've been having this conversation for what, 13, 14 years now. I can find anything in Berkshire Hathaway once. Finding it a second time is the challenge. It's so much
Exactly.
information, and yeah,
Yeah, they just
that's
get more and more, everything just keeps growing.
it does. So yeah, so
Yeah.
we always have this. Yeah, we always
Right.
at the managers meeting, we always have this running joke of, yeah, I saw it once. How do you
Yeah,
find it? How do
that's
you
why I
get back
wanted
to
to
it?
make sure before we left that I wanted to make sure I could find it, because I find the same thing. It's like, how do you get there?
Yeah, and then I can't send it to people. I can't send a link because it's password protected. So if I send you a link, the most it does is send you the link to the front screen. So yeah, that's definitely a challenge. So yeah, if you have any trouble, let me know and we'll get you situated.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right. Thank you all for being here.